Good evening. Whoa, that is much too bright. 1 second. That's not, and I left the fan on. Okay, that's what happens. Monday nights, it's okay. Now it seems dark, but I believe this is normal. This is our new normal. It's Monday, July 6th, 2026. It's good that no one's watching this. You're joining me on the channel Co-op for Two, broadcasting live from Champaign, Illinois, 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we are on session 24 of Etherfields. Currently, YouTube says 6 concurrent viewers, 4 likes. I mean, that is a huge crowd for the 24th episode of Etherfields. Jonathan Warner is here, of course, but we also have a couple other people joining us. Lauren, who I think is Isara, and Val, who has been joining us recently. Val says, I took a nap and I have coffee, so hopefully I can hang the whole stream this time. Jonathan Warner is in the Midwest like me. Lauren is overseas somewhere. I forget what time it is locally for Lauren. I wonder what time it is for Val. For me, my sleep schedule has become all messed up. Normally, I like to wake up around 2 p.m. or so. That gets me enough daylight to feel productive and then have the whole night. But recently, I've been waking up at like 7 p.m., which is not good. It is not good. It's much better to have, then it feels like the night is over much too quickly. But I do have my coffee here. So to remind you where we are in Etherfields, after 24 episodes, maybe 80 hours of gameplay, we have collected 5 of 6 silver keys. We need to find 1 more silver key, and then we can head for the final dream. We do have, actually, though, 5 more dreams. So this is the final, we think the final finale dream. And then we have 6 more dreams that we could go into, any 6 of these, in any order. They're green, meaning they're cheaper to go in, and they're returning to dreams we've already been in. Now, if we try to remember which of these we enjoyed, I mean, the Eternal City, that's the one we've been to twice. Foggy Docks, that was kind of an interesting one. This, I think, is the Train Dream, not that interesting. And then the Endless Basement, that's the one that we finished sooner than I wanted to. There was something interesting in there I wanted to go do, but we got out of there before we even had a chance. The Dream Factory was the conveyor belt. This was actually quite a bit of work. I wouldn't mind not going back to that. And Return to Sunshine Days, I don't really remember that one. One of these, we think only one, is going to have our last silver keys. So it may be that we could complete our entire campaign by going to the right dream, getting the last silver key, and then never going to the other 5. I'm not sure that's true. It may be that we get half the ingredient at one place and half of it at another. So it's possible that the game will force us to go back into these dreams. My suspicion is not, though. My suspicion is we will be able to finish the campaign without going back into all but one of these dreams. And Jonathan Warner has been researching our previous playthroughs, because we didn't take great notes, and Jonathan Warner believes he knows which dream we need to go back into. Return to Sunshine Days. Okay, the one I couldn't remember. So, if you'll remember, we went into a dream. It was quite elaborate, and we got a blue key, which we've marked with this little custom token that it told us to do. And we don't know what to do with the blue key, but Jonathan remembered that there was a dream with a blue car, and he actually went back and found that there was actually a mention of the blue key in another entry in that dream. So, I suppose our plan is to go right back into this dream, get the last silver key, and then we can make a decision about whether we want to run for the exit or hang around here a little longer. We don't have to cross that bridge till we get to it. So this is where we're going. Return to the Sunshine Days. In your memories, the sun never sets and you cast no shadow. Okay, so it's in Metropolis. We need 1 key. And we're starting out here in Phantasmagoria, so we need to get to Metropolis with 1 key. We have no keys, so we're going to need to get at least 1 key. We're also, though, not in great health here. We've got 4 out of 8 Distress, 2 Ether, 1 Gem, and a ton from the last dream was very... The last dream we actually barely got out. We went down to our last hour, so we only have 1 hour banked, and we have a lot of cards sealed. So we would like to heal up before we go into this stream. Maybe even more significantly, all of our progress has gotten destroyed. We lost 3 progress cards completely. 2 got flipped over that we'll have to get back. 1 is the shotgun, and 1 is the builder, which lets us have more progress cards. So there are a couple progress cards that we really love that we've lost. 1 is Run to Live, which lets us use any card to move 1, and another one is the Long Arms that lets us attack people from far away. So I would really like to heal up before we go into this next dream. I believe we'll also need 2 blue gems. So make sure we have 2 gems. Okay, we currently have 1 gem, but we do have new shopping cards. So I think maybe the plan for today will be on our way to Metropolis, get ourselves into a shopping thing. We also have been avoiding the trains, but maybe it makes sense to focus on that. Don't forget, we can generate a gem. I think the rule is we never do it, but we can discard an ether or a key to gain a gem. I thought we could also, I thought my memory is we could throw away 3 cards for a gem. Am I remembering that wrong? On my little memory, reminder list. The player aid card says we can discard 3 cards for a shining gem. So separate from that new shining gem card, our normal reminder card tells us that we can discard 3 influence cards for a gem. So if we need gem, we can make them. If we need a gem, we can make them. So we can also get one by going shopping and not spending ether. So I think maybe that's the way to go. We're in the season of secret paths, which means we don't have to pay extra to go by shortcuts, which is great because they're the most efficient way to travel. And we also have symbols. Let's remember to keep an eye open for these symbols. They're mostly color. This one looks like we're at a rear view mirror with lots of stars. We got a radiator. We've got a green steering wheel handle type thing, blue, purple, white. We've got a cityscape. We've got these scary looking eyes and a plant. So keep your eyes open for all of these symbols. It sure would be nice to get a couple more. All right, so what's our route? Perhaps we only need 1 key to get into this dream. All the return dreams only need 1 key. So if we go here, we're going to cure 2, and it needs a key. But really, we know we're very close to getting a delta phase, which I think we really need with all these sealed cards. So I'd like to do a couple slumbers. Maybe we get an extra key for later. But I'm a little nervous about creating too many fate cards for our to make our slumbers more difficult. There are a couple of fate cards that let us rob a store that we're interested in doing. So you could argue the other way that we should try to do that. If we wanted to go most quickly, I think maybe we would hop over to Insomnia, have a slumber. Where's our closest shopping to Metropolis here? Could hop over, have a slumber, hop over, have an extra slumber, go shopping. Slumber, another thing. We don't really need 3 slumbers. But that would guarantee we got a delta phase. So the fastest way would just be go have a slumber and then go into our dream. But it would be nice to go shopping for a gem. I don't know. Is that worth it? Probably not. Probably be just as easy for us to spend 3 cards just to get a gem if we don't really want to go shopping. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just hop over here, have a slumber. If we get delta phase, we'll hop over here into our dream. If we don't get delta phase, maybe we hop to a slumber and then hop back. We'd have some extra keys, but we would guarantee a delta phase. What do sanctuaries do again? When you go to a sanctuary, which is here, you get a choice. You get a choice of a small benefit. You can either unflip a progress card, unseal a chosen card, or restore an item. Those are all pretty good. So it wouldn't be a terrible idea to do them. So if we went here, instead of jumping here, we would get 1 benefit there. 2 fates. It's a little dangerous to get fates so early before you've had slumbers you want to pass, because they can make it harder. Sometimes they make it easier. But if we want to rob that store before our game ends, it's not a crazy idea to come here. Unflip one of our progress cards. We have an ability to unflip progress cards, but it does save us a bunch of effort. I suppose it depends how badly we want to rob that store. If we want to rob the store, then we should definitely be trying to bring these out. Okay, Jonathan says go through the sanctuary. Let's do it. So we're going to go here to draw a fate card. Okay. It says draw and place a slumber tile. If there's a quirk, put it here, and then reshuffle the fate deck. So this is bad. We don't want this, but we're stuck with it. If there is a slumber map quirk spot. So here's our two starting ones. And then let's see, does this have a quirk spot? No, it doesn't. So that's good. So this gets added to our set, and this does not trigger because there's no quirk spot. I'll just leave these out. However, we have our fate deck is about to get reshuffled. I'm going to reshuffle it, but not that one. Okay. Next step is to another fate, and here is our next fate. Each dreamer may exchange one influence card from their hand for a random influence marker. We've been doing this for fun. Let's take a look at what we've got in our hand. We've got 3 cards in hand. I run to live. Discard cards from hand to move X spaces. It's a progress card. This is one of our favorites. We surely won't be spending this. We surely won't be trading this in. Safety zone. What's this do? We've never actually used this, but it is a 2 green, which is nice. You spend a gem and prevent all distress you would have otherwise suffered. You might lose the card. That's very rare for us to ever use. We don't like spending gems for this. We try to stay out of danger. So this would not be a bad card to trade in for fun. And then we also could trade in this one instead. The Radio Steam. Radio Steam, not Stream. Peek at cards of the Fateful or Turn deck. Place them back in any order or peek at the script. Okay, we're not getting rid of this because this is a fun card to have. So we're going to keep this. But should we just try our luck and get a random card from the influence deck? I don't feel like we ever really use this one. So I don't think it would kill us to trade it in. It's very hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine ever using this, but it is a 2 green and a 3 cost card. I think let's just for fun, let's trade this in. So we get to throw away an influence card and take a random one. Okay, so I'm going to throw it away. Take the... Where are the influence cards here? Okay, so we're going to trade this one for a random one here. We've been through most of the influence deck. These are the cards we haven't gotten. I believe we must have had to shuffle these in, these ones with numbers. I'm going to shuffle this deck a little bit, at least the deck we haven't drawn from. Okay, then we're going to cut it and take the top one. All right, let's see what we've got. Artifice. It can succeed. If there are any entities on the dreamscape, gain a gem, but roll for these entities' movement. Huh. So it's a 1 yellow, not so great. But you might get a free gem as long as you don't mind the entities moving. Probably not going to be using that much, but okay. We exchange that into our hand for our second fate. Now we go to the sanctuary where we can flip a progress card, gain a chosen sealed card, or what else? or restore a random item. I mean, we love these progress cards. We want to get them unflipped, but we can unflip them on our own. We can't choose to restore items on our own. And as far as these, I suppose one way to look at this is I think we're going to need to delta phase to get all of these unsealed. But you could look at it, instead of saying, well, then it would be a waste, you could look at it and say, well, if we unseal one of these, we can use it, and then when we delta phase, we get it back, so we can use it twice. Some of these are very powerful. Like this one. It does take a distress, though. I'm not sure we can afford that. Gain 2 hours. Taking an item is a real shot in the dark. Half the time you get a train ticket that you don't really need. Any thoughts what you want to do in this sanctuary? Unseal a chosen card. Draw 4 cards. That would let us get nice and strong. This is a great card, except for the distress. I really don't feel like we can use the distress. Our influence deck is going to run out. This would gain us 2 hours and reshuffle. I mean, we do need hours pretty badly. But we don't know when we're going to get this card in hand. Sea of Fire. I mean, if we think we might be facing a slumber that's dangerous, we could take Sea of Fire, but that's not that great because we don't know what we're going to be facing. Maybe we'll just flip one of our influence cards up. I don't really care about these so much. Okay. We're gonna unflip a card. We're gonna unflip our shotgun card, I guess, since we don't need this one yet. Each time after reshuffling, you can discard cards now. Okay, we'll just flip the mechanical shotgun. Why not? Next, we move over here. We are not going to... We need a key, so we're going to take a key and go into a slumber. So that's our first key. It's actually the only key we need. Now let's see what slumber we're going to get, and hopefully it's a delta phase. It's not a delta phase. It's the fearsome shapeless. They're not deliveranceable. Have we fought these guys before? That's the question, because our rule is to skip slumbers that we've already done if we want to. So if you don't have any red progress cards, you can end the slumber before it begins. Well, unfortunately, we just brought this out. If we hadn't brought this out, we would be able to skip this. but I suppose we can skip it anyway. So it starts out with 3 of these creatures. It takes 8 assault to kill it. And it gets you an ether. But wow, look at the damage they do. If they're on your space, you have to flip a progress card and suffer. And if they're on your space, you have to steal a card. I think we did regular shapeless, not sure we did the fearsome shapeless. Well, that's really unfortunate. Okay, but I guess we could unflip our shotgun. We could use our shotgun to unflip it and then just, oh, before it begins, you know. Val says, I think we just got this one last game. Well, we can just say that we've faced them before. Four turns assault 8. That's awfully hard to kill these people. Okay, we're going to say that we don't need to fight these people. So we're using this to do that. We have to take a distress. Now we're at 5 of 8. That's very dangerous. But we can gain a key, unseal a card, or resolve a mystery, which we've finished, although Ghost Drive keeps pointing out that there are more mystery paths in the expansion, but we've decided not to follow through of those. All right, so yeah, so we're going to, I mean, I think maybe we can't afford this distress. I think I'm going to seal 3 cards instead. These seem like important influence cards. Oh, these are really important cards. So they're sealed instead of the distress. I wish I hadn't done that now. But we now are going to gain a key, which we don't really need, but having an extra key for next time is good. So we're going to take a key for that, and we're done with that. Now we could go now straight into our dream, but I really think we need to get delta phase. So I think we're going to have to, I think maybe we come here and back is what we do. Or I suppose we could go here, here, and here and go twice. Let's do that. It'll give us more chance. So we're going to come over here, shortcut. We don't have to pay for it. This is where our dream is, but we're not going to dream. We're going to slumber. And we're going to see if we can't get delta phase. It's not delta phase, it's the box knight. Now we have certainly talked to the box knight before. But we could try to deliverance this one. I'm not sure we've actually... What is that green thing on the bottom of his thing? It's like a little house. I'm not sure we have faced this guy in a slumber before, have we? So he's very easy to kill. 6 assault and you kill him. However, and he moves pretty slow. All right, so we're gonna do this slumber. We're going to do this slumber. sure are taking our time getting to that delta phase. All right, we're going to do the slumber. It seems like it should be pretty quick. There's our slumber map. Box night. We do have a miniature for the box night somewhere. What does it look like? He's tiny. Okay, there's our box night. Yes, let's go ahead and read his hint. He would spawn here, and we are here. All right, let's read the hint for the box night. Oh my god, it's this gray thing. Please, someone tell me how to get rid of that. Okay, so Deliverance 552, and our rule is we're allowed to understand it for free. Once again, the cardboard man turns out to be completely empty inside, like a plate of armor waiting for its owner. We could take it, but is it worth interrupting our comfortable life? It's easier to just follow orders, always stand behind someone, take no responsibility for anything, be like a drifting ship, because we don't want to take the helm of our own lives. However, these are only lies we tell ourselves to feel safe. The journey is never easy, and we will never reach any destination if we do not start. So let's put on our armor, and finally take control of our destiny. Put on your armor and take control of your destiny. Okay, so we're not allowed to take the gem because we didn't pay to understand it. But we've got we want to do the deliverance that would represent taking control. So we did the understand. Endless rage, intimidation, open yourself, or deception. Surely not rage and intimidation. Open yourself would be, I'm laying down my weapon. I trust you won't hurt me either. That seems like that might be it, don't you think? Or we put ourselves in their shoes, copy their behavior and gestures, play any role. We cheat, we lie, everything to achieve our goal. What do you think? Surely one of these two. You got a gut instinct. What would be take control, get in the armor? Put ourselves in their shoes does sound like deception. I suppose if you thought it was a 50-50 thing, it would be better not to waste an ether on this guy. It might be better to try this, and if it fails, go for this. But either one could end the scenario. We put ourselves in their shoes, copying their behavior and gestures. It seems like deception might be our thing. Could be either one, though. I guess I'd be more inclined to do deception. Then we could still, then we won't be near him. We could still do this. All right, so I think we're going to try deception. I'm not sure we've ever done deception before, but we're going to try it with this box knight. All right, so it's only 3 turns. Matt says, I've just gotten this game via trade. It's nice to see a stream. L2P. What is L2P? Oh, learn to play. Learn to play. I mean, we did play through the tutorial. I forget what... There is a good tutorial. There is a good tutorial on YouTube by a guy, and the video starts out saying, I'm going to show you as little spoilers as possible. Maybe after we finish, I can find it if you don't find it. But there is a good tutorial on how to play. Okay, 3 turns. It's easy to kill him, so it does feel like deliverance might be the more fun thing. Okay, so he comes out and he starts out with the morphing. Remember, this is the place where we really get into trouble because the morphing can turn off our mask, make us lose more wounds. Okay, here's his initial morphing. No mask. All right, so that's pretty bad for us. It means we can't have more than 7 cards, not our normal 9, but probably enough to kill this guy. All right, let's draw our 4 cards for our turn. Nothing on top to let us unseal another card. We do have I Run to Live. That would be nice to get out. There's this card that I meant to look up about whether we could use it with our bonus. Block a step or gain a gem. That's good. These 2 require us to take distress, which we can't afford. So we don't have enough red to assault him, although we do have 2 from the shotgun, but that's it. We do have lots of green, though, if we need to fall back on it. Okay, so we're going to try this. We could end up in trouble here. So we haven't assaulted him yet. This isn't a range. We just go for 0. Seal 3 cards. Okay, so we need to seal 3 more cards, which hurts. Okay. We've got so many cards sealed now. We really need to find that delta phase. We have to add 2 morphings. Okay. Well, better to do it now, I suppose, than later. All right, so we can't use any of our progress cards. And if he makes us seal cards, we would seal 2 extra. Thankfully, he doesn't cause us to seal, but we can't use progress cards anymore. That's a little dangerous. We can't use the shotgun if we have to shoot him. So that was part of our deliverance. And then here we go. 5, 5, 2. Let's see what we've got. All right, we used deception. The reason we used deception is because the flavor text on it sounded like we were getting into... Let's see what happens. Oh, that's not good. If we wanted to, wiping you off the face of the earth would be like swatting a fly. Yes, for now we have decided to exercise our divine mercy and spare your life. Shoo! Go away, little fly. You wouldn't want to awaken our inner beast mode, would you now? We don't actually believe these words ourselves and actually think the cardboard man is full of hot air. Gain a gem and continue the slumber. Okay, so that was not fun. That did not work. Now, can we pull this off instead? That sucks. Let's try to remember that so we don't do that again in the future. So it's going to cost us an ether to do this if we want to. We do have 2 ether. We'd have to get close enough to him, though, but we can do that. And 6 contact. I mean, I guess we're in for a penny, in for a pound, go double or nothing. We're going to try to do it, especially since we really need to get out of this now. So what we have to do is walk over to him and then generate 6 green contact. I'd rather not spend this because we want to place this, but we don't care so much about this. 2, I'd like to keep this if we can. 3, 4, I guess we're going to have to spend this. And then we just need to move within 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, but maybe, since he won't be able to get to us, maybe we just let him walk over to us. And we spend these cards. Oh, here we go. Perfect. Our new card. We're going to engage him and let him move, because we want him closer to us. Okay, so he moves 2, 1, 2, and now he goes again. Okay, we don't care how close he gets to us, because, well, I suppose it depends whether this deliverance works. Wow, okay. Now he's going to go again. And he moves 2. So he goes right into our space. I mean, I suppose that's actually the best result, because now we can use the green on him, and we could run away if we had to. We could use a gem to get to use this, to keep this, you're saying? Okay, so, yeah, okay. So let's do this. 2, 3. We don't want to spend this because I want to get this out as soon as possible. 4, and we use one of our gems. 6. So that's our 6 for deliverance. Now, if this doesn't work, and we have to spend an ether, that is the part that hurts. But if this doesn't work, we're going to have to get far away from these guys, or otherwise he's going to harm us. All right, so we're spending our 6 and our ether and our gem. He gets 2 more morphings, which is ridiculous. It really feels like there should be a limit to these morphings. So no more rerolls and +1 range. All right, he's got his 2 extra morphings. Surely now this is going to work. Surely this is going to end this dream to our favor. And we did open yourself. Here we go. Aha. It's time to change our relationship, Cardboard Man. We will not fight, nor avoid you anymore. With courage, we gain even more strength to fight our fears. Let our friendship begin and overcome whatever awaits us on this path. Victory. The slumber ends. Remove this slumber tile from the game, and we have a new friend. All right, finally we made the deception work. It took us some effort to make it happen. All right, so the box knight, he's going away. We've incorporated him as a friend. 234A. Okay, this is exciting. Let's see what 234A is. 234A is a influence card. It's a Box Knight, our friend. So it takes 2 green to place it as a progress card. You got to spend, then you got to spend 6 green influence to even bring him out on the board. But he actually comes out as a friend of ours. Entities in range 1 from the Box Knight are poisoned. And then we can move him with green. So it's expensive. It's a progress card. Or it's a 2 attack, which is kind of cool. So, but just him being near us and near entities makes them poisoned. Do you remember what poisoned is? Poisoned is unable to gain new morphings. Well, that's pretty great. I mean, morphings are what kill us. So we just bring him out, we move him around, and he keeps them on their toes so they don't gain morphings. That's pretty nice. Of course, you'd have to keep moving him to keep him near the enemies, but that's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to say that we gained that card. Let's clean up. Now, it says victory. Victory, the slumber ends. Does that mean that we gain the loot? All right, so this card is removed from the game. I'm not sure that we gain our loot. What loot would we get? What turn is it? Turn 1. The loot would be seal 1 card to cure 1 distress. It doesn't say we gain loot, so I guess we don't. Seems a little weird for it to, well, okay. So, that's that. We're done with this. We have 2 keys now. This is our starting slumber. This doesn't leave us. All right. So this guy is going into our collection along with our penguin and cat and locker. We must move. We can't now just enter this dream. We're going to have 2 more. Well, it's not true. We could just walk away and come back and go into this dream. But I need us to get to Delta Phase because we're so damaged. So many cards are sealed. So we're going to have to keep hunting for slumbers until we get Delta Phase. So we're going to shortcut over here to Echo and have another slumber. And hopefully Delta Phase. Aha! Finally, we've got it. Remember, this is our new Delta Phase card. But I think it's just the only difference is that the only difference, so we didn't get our optimization that lets us do 2 of these. However, in our case now, really what's important is the fact that we've got so many cards sealed. So this wouldn't have been a bad time to awaken instead, since we have so few cards here. But okay, we've chosen what to do. We're not curing all our distress, but now we have 4 distress. We'll cure a couple when we go into the dream. And because we have so few cards sealed, we will be able to seal cards instead of paying distress. And we get our hours back now, right? So we choose one. We're going to choose to unseal all of our cards. I guess there's no point in me shuffling them now. They'll just go into our discard. Yeah, if we woke up, we would lose our keys. I think we lose our ether. We would lose all our progress, but we don't have that much progress. We do get to reset our hours, though, which we really desperately needed because we only have 1 hour here, which is not the flexibility we need. So now we're going back up to our full set of 5. I've unsealed all our cards. And now we reshuffle the slumber deck. And remember that the old delta phase just goes on the bottom. We could choose a different mask, so, but we don't want that. Okay, so normally the old delta phase would go on the bottom of this deck after we shuffled it. Friendly dogs, I wish we had seen that. Okay, but the new delta phase just gets shuffled in like any other card. So we don't know when the next delta phase ends, but it could be a long way off. Okay, I'm just going to cut this deck and put it back in. All right, but we are in good shape now. We do have 4 distress, not so good. We're going to cure a couple when we get to our new dream, but we're otherwise in great shape for cards. So we're going to shortcut back here, and we're going to enter this dream for 1 key. Return to Sunshine Days. We can cure 2 distress, so that's great. Now we are down to only 2 distress. Great health. No cards sealed. 115 cards and tiles, and here we go. $115. All set up. Reveal all 4 setup tiles. Okay. Reveal tile X and spawn 1 dog. Reveal cards A and B. If there are 5 dreamers, something else. I don't remember that. Turn deck 8. 8 turns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's look at what we've got here, and then we'll take a break before we get started. So here is, I remember this dream now, dogs running around and this little garden maze. A2, B2, A3, B3. So I absolutely remember this one. I remember we went down here somewhere. We've got various things we can do, interact with. We do need a dog. How many dogs do we need, actually? It wants us to use creature shapeshifters. It's weird, because there is a dog creature right here. Why are we not using that? Because there's only one of them. He's special. All right, I will use these guys to represent dogs. No, those don't really look like dogs, do they? Those don't look like dogs either. It'd be nice to have more proxies to be able to swap in here. All right, these will be our dogs, not this dog. Oh, wait, I haven't seen it yet. have we? Okay, here are the dogs. So you can kill a dog to put a generic token on the entity tile. When there are 3, a wolfling comes out. Oh, I don't remember this. I think this is different from what we saw before. When there are 3, add a wolfling to the slumber deck. Oh, it's another slumber monster. And new dogs can spawn. Okay, so if you have to kill 3 dogs, a wolfling is going to come into our dreams. Jonathan says we need to go down the hole in A2. And we also need 2 blue gems to use the blue key here. Okay, so that's our goal. Come down there. All right, let's keep reading the rest of this setup before we start. Spawn 1 dog. Okay, so the dog is going to come out here. That's the only place the dogs are. So dog is here. Cards A and B get revealed. Let's see. So it's a rule about levers. 3 yellow or 3 red, we rotate the tile indicated by the arrow. So if we pull this lever, we rotate this tile. If we pull this lever, we rotate this tile. And this lever to rotate this tile. That's the way we get past these walls. We're going to have to get in here. And then each dreamer on the rotated tile is dazed. Okay, that's probably okay for us since we're not going to be on that tile. And then we have bones. If you're on a space with dog and bones, you can tame the dog. Put a story token in that space and gain 241A. Now, we tamed a dog in our first playthrough, but this is a return to the dream. I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that the 241A exists. It doesn't. In other words, we have already done the taming and gotten 241A, so we cannot benefit from this anymore. This is what brought a friendly dog into the slumbers. However, I see there's still a benefit for taming a dog. If you tame any dog, then no more dogs. That might be a new, I'm not sure. But okay, so there is still a benefit of taming a dog. It stops the dogs from coming out. So if you could avoid killing 3 dogs, you wouldn't trigger the wolfling and you would stop dogs from coming out. I really don't want that wolfling to come into our slumber. Okay, where are we? We're over here. This looks familiar. Like I think last time we rotated this tile so we could go onto it. And then we can rotate from here this tile so we can get into this spot. It only takes 5 green. Something is leaning out of the hole, so we might have to fight something there. Do we not care about doing anything else? Remember to do this. There have to be bones on the space with the dog, so we throw in the bones. So you can't just fight him anywhere. You got to lure him. When a blue comes out, a new dog comes out. Yikes. But maybe we don't care. Maybe we're going to go do this and get out of here very quickly. Well, let's take our first break here. When we come back, we'll read the introduction to this dream, read the back, and then make a rush for our silver key. 8 minutes. All right, we are back. Return to the sunshine days. We've set up. Let's read the proper introduction. $8.75. It feels good to be back. My hand gently caresses the filigree leaves of the hedge. Time stopped here, definitely. This is our place, and this is our moment. Okay, not much of an introduction. Special rules. The goal is to find the way out or in. If you achieve victory in this dream and there are no dogs in the dreamscape, one dreamer gains card G and the rest gain an ether. You will find the details during resolving the victory script. So there is an advantage, another advantage to taming the dogs. Whenever you reveal a new spawn space, spawn a dog. If you run out of time, the wolfling goes into the slumber deck. So the wolfling goes in if you've killed 3 dogs, and if you run out of time. You may look at the wolfling tile during this dream if you want to know what is waiting. Yeah, I'd like to know what that is. 237V. I guess this is trying to like give you some stronger motivation to not be angry. Here is the wolfling if we mess up. So this would be a slumber. You'd have to 9 assault him. It's not that bad. He doesn't have a deliverance. Boy, you run out of turns, though. You only have 4 turns to kill him. You run out of turns, you suffer 3 distress. And you gain a flaw. Yikes, if he gets within range of red. Okay, we don't want that. I don't want any slumbers, let alone that one. We just have to get out. Now, we should point out, Jonathan remembers, that there should be something in here using our blue key, but we don't know if that will end the dream. This is much more our style, though. Like, kill the dogs, kill less than 3 dogs. The sooner we do this, the easier it is to do, right? Because the more time goes by, the more dogs are going to come out, and at some point, when there's more than 3 dogs, we can't do it without risking this. So I would say if we can possibly do it, it would be better off to tame a dog and gain the benefit of not having any dogs at the end of this dream. So yeah, that's what we did last time. We went onto this tile, and then here are bones, and we let the dog come to us, and then we tamed him. So surely that's worth it for us to try to pull off again, and then we can do the rest of the dream at our own pace. Just have to make sure we don't get paralyzed or suffer too much. Okay, first turn. He's going to spawn, so a second dog is going to spawn. We can only afford 1 more dog after this. However, we could use this card to block this step, so a second dog wouldn't spawn. I think that would probably be smart for us. Not that hard to kill 1 dog, so it wouldn't be an emergency if a second dog came out. So maybe we use this. He's going to move, and then he's going to make us suffer a distress. That's a little bit unfortunate. It would be better for him to move, but maybe he won't be able to do this on this turn. But we are in a rush. So there's our turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are cards. We have this, so we could now flip this card if we wanted to. We don't really need it. We've got our full hand of 9. There's our optimization. Too bad. Just before we need it. Stun an enemy. Stun an entity if it can be contacted. It can't. Remember this card? We haven't used this yet. Repeat the action you just performed and then seal it, but only useful on assaults. Well, we didn't get many greens, but we have 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 green, plus we have gems. I'd rather save this for blocking a spot, so I don't really want to use this. Assuming I don't use this, we could give up Run to Live. So 4, 5, 6 with the gem 8. So we have enough to do this now. First, we need to move this tile 1 space. Okay, we don't need this. That's 2. 1 more yellow would do it. I suppose we're not going to bring the box knight. It doesn't do anything to dogs because the dogs don't morph. And we're not going to need to do too much assault, but I'll just go ahead and do this. So there's 3 red to pull this lever, which rotates this tile here. Clockwise or clockwise? Not only clockwise or clockwise, but 90 or 180. So we could turn it in any way we want, but this is how we want it, because we want to be on these bones or have a dog on these bones. Okay, so we want to hold all the greens so that we can do this taming action. Unfortunately, we don't have Run to Live, so I can't just walk with any card. This is a bit of a waste, but we're going to use this to walk. Well, let me think here for a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, we want to be able to draw a full hand. I'm going to spend this to walk over here, because we want to be on this tile to be able to rotate this tile. And now we can hold a full hand of cards. So we're done now, but now a new dog is going to come out. Unless we block that. I think... Well, actually, it's a little deeper than that, isn't it? If we rotate this now... then this guy will walk to us and cause us a distress. But we will be able to kill him on the next turn. If we don't rotate this now, I believe he won't move. This is a tricky thing. We've looked at this up before. Like, will he try to get closer to us even though he can't get to us? And I believe the rule is that if he can't get closer to us, he won't. Entities always move toward the closest dreamer unless stated otherwise. If it's in a space, it won't move. It doesn't say. Move toward the closest dreamer. Ah, yes. Okay, here we go. If it's in a space with a dreamer, or it does not have a legal path, it does not move. Okay, so that's subtle, but it is important. So in other words, when this guy moves, he's not going to walk onto these bones. Which means if I rotate him on the next turn, we won't be able to kill him. So I think we may have to trigger this now, rotate it now. It's going to make us take a wound, but if we don't, then it could take us 2 turns to kill him, and it could be even worse for us. Or we could take a chance. I mean, if I block this and don't rotate, it would save us a gem. But if he doesn't move, but he's surely going to move, we might get a little bit lucky. Okay, but what if it's not? Then it's a dog we're going to have to fight twice. You see what the debate is, right? I can either rotate this now inefficiently and guarantee that this guy will walk on his turn, bite us, and we'll be able to tame him. But if I just delay its action, we'll be able to rotate it more efficiently. He might not bite us. But if we get another blue, we'll have to face another dog. The dogs are only 3 to kill them. So it's really not that hard to kill and tame a dog. I don't want them both to bite us, though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to block the new dog from coming out. I mean, it almost is the same, being able to kill them because they're so easy to kill. But in worst case, he'll attack us or paralyze us. So I am going to block a new dog from coming out. Let's just keep things simple. All right, so then I'm going to end our turn. I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. So they move, but they refuse to move because there's no legal path to us. And now, if we were in range, we would suffer distress. Now that turn is done. Next turn is here. Well, this is what we... it's not ideal because he is going to be in this. But this is sort of what we wanted in terms of the order here. Let's see if I come to regret this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our hand. So we need to rotate and maybe take a step back so this doesn't hit us. But maybe we don't care about this, actually. All right, well, we need to rotate this because we need to let him try to get to us. And it's okay if he gets all the way to us because there's bones and bones. So first things first, I want to rotate this tile. No new dog, so we don't need to be able to kill any new dog with red, so I'm going to use 3 red. Any dreamer may re-roll. Actually, a re-roll might be useful to us. Okay, so there's our 3 yellow that we're going to spend to rotate this tile this way. So when he goes, this would paralyze us, then this would miss us, and then he'd walk right to us, where we'll be able to kill him on our next turn, tame him on our next turn with 8 green. So that's fine. And if for whatever reason we roll something where he doesn't walk, we'll have to re-roll to make sure he walks. The only thing that's going to hurt us now if we stop here is that he's going to paralyze us. Now, when we get paralyzed, does it just not let us move? Paralyzed, you can't move until the end of the turn. So actually, if we just stay there, it just means we'll have to spend a turn fighting him and getting rid of him. Not the end of the world. Just means one more turn, but we think we're not going to need that many turns here. And we've got hours on our clock anyway. And Val says, remember, we can also use keys to gain gems if we need to. So we have traded some time to avoid taking bites, but I think that was the right trade-off for us. Also, we think we're going to finish this stream quickly. Also, we have plenty of time. All right, so are we going to end our turn here? Is there anything else we want to do? So we might actually consider, if we need 8 green to tame a dog, and we have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, but Jonathan thinks we need gems. I think maybe what we do is because we won't be able to draw a full hand if we end our turn here, I think it would be better for us to place I Run to Live for 4 green. And pay for it this way. We don't need optimization anytime soon. So I'm going to pay for green to bring this out. Now notice we need 8 to tame him. We cannot take any chance of not being able to tame him. But we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We just need to get 1 green. Surely that would succeed. And in fact, this one can turn into 3 gems if we need it to. So I think that's fairly safe. And now we'll be able to grab a new hand of 4. And we'll have this. Surely that's safe, right? I mean, we don't want to spend these, though. Is there any world in which we shouldn't do that? If I have 3... I suppose, actually, you could make the case that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3 more cards instead of 4. Let's play it a little safe. I'm going to stop here. I'll only be able to draw 3 instead of 4, but that's still better. Then we can probably still be able to place these. Okay, ending our unless we use this, but we don't have a yellow. I wonder if that was the smart thing to do. Sorry, I spent these cards to generate 3 yellow to rotate. But I wonder... I'm going to change that. Instead of spending these 3 cards, 3 yellow to rotate, I'm going to rotate with these 3 reds. Then I'm going to keep these in hand and use this. Throw away a yellow and a red card to gain 3 gems. Now we have much more flexibility to use these and gems if we need to. Okay, I'm ending my turn here. Red goes. He paralyzes us if we don't spend 3 yellow. But I think I'm okay with being paralyzed. So I'm paralyzed now. I can't move until the next turn. Where is the paralyzed thing? So we're paralyzed. No movement this turn. That's fine. We're exactly where we need to be. Then if we were in with range 1, we would take a wound, and now he moved. Okay, so he moves his default, which is 3, and he goes right onto our space where there are bones. Next turn, a new dog's going to come out, and this dog is going to wound us. However, we don't mind that because we are going to tame this dog, which would stop any new dogs from coming out. Okay, but we have to shuffle our discard, which we are going to pay for not by taking a well, we have only 2 distress. It wouldn't be the terrible thing to seal cards instead. 2 distress. I feel like maybe we'll take a distress. I'm going to take a distress. 3 we can handle. So we're about to tame this dog, which means no more new dogs will come out, and then we can just take our time going wherever we want here. Even though I don't think we need that much more time. Is there anything that I have forgotten? I think this is working out well. I mean, we're going slowly, but we're trying to be friendly to these dogs. We have plenty of time. Okay, 2, 3, 4. We've shuffled our deck. We have a nice big deck. We took our distress for having to reshuffle. We could have sealed cards instead since we have no cards sealed, but we're okay. We are paralyzed. And here are our cards. Well, we didn't get many greens, so we're going to have to use some gems, but that's okay. In fact, we've got a way to generate more dreams. There's our very long arms. That would be nice to get out eventually. Okay, we're going to tame this guy for 8. We have most of the gems, so I think what I'd be inclined to do is use some gems and keep this in hand where we can get it out. So 2, we don't care about this, that's 4. I think we might actually want to keep this and use it for gems. So I think maybe 5, 6, 7, 8. Better to have gems in the supply that we can get when we need them rather than hoard them. So there's 8. We're going to tame the dog. We're still paralyzed, but he is standing on bones. We're throwing him a bone. We're taming him. We discard the dog. We put a story token in that space. I guess it's just a letter showing that he got turned into something. D for dog. And we gained 241A, but we already checked and we saw that that doesn't exist. That was the dog that was our friend, I guess. But no more dogs get spawned during this game. That's the biggest benefit. Plus, we know at the end of the stream there's a benefit if there's no dogs. So we're done with dogs. We tamed the one dog. We were very clever about doing that before new dogs came out. So now we can relax a little. Take our time. No new dogs. Don't even need this anymore. Time is running out, but we have extra time if we need it. Okay, I think that worked well. And now I think maybe let's get some of this progress out. I guess we're going to be able to draw a full hand. We can't move, though. And we don't need to assault. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to spend this and these 2 cards, although I'd like to be able to move. Guess we're in no real rush. This is where we think we need to go, right? Thank you. This is where we think we need to go, and we're not going to mess around with this. We don't need it, huh? We're just going to head straight for there. Okay. We've got plenty of gems. We've got ways to generate more gems. I'd like to get out Run to Live. But there's no point in rushing. We can't move. Okay, we're going to end that turn. Next turn. We're no longer paralyzed. Dogs don't do anything, so we don't care about any of that, right? Dogs spawn and suffer. Okay, so we're safe. We don't even care about these. We just care about time. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our artifice. Unfortunately, we can't benefit from that anymore. But we do have a full hand of cards. And we need to move 1, 2, 3. So this is our 2 plus 1. Remember, we plus 1 on our movements. So that's our movement into here. We need 5 green to trigger this ability. Someone is leaning out of the hole. So we're going to spend 5 green on that. I want to get Run to Live out. So we need 4 green for that. So I think what we'll do is we'll get out Run to Live. There's 2, there's 4. And now I think what we'll do is we will cash this in for a yellow and a red. I guess this red is more healing since we're not going to need to be fighting to get ourselves back 3 gems. So we have the flexibility we need. And then again, since I don't think we're in a rush, I think we stop here. Nothing bad can happen to us. This turn is over. Next turn is here. We don't care. They don't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's better for us to take this time to prepare than to rush in there. Now, on the top of our deck, finally, is this card. Discard this card and unflip 1 card of any dreamer within range. So we do have a card that's flipped. It's the Builder, which lets us build up to 6, and we do have cards we want to get out. So I do think we want to do that. The only thing is we'll have to generate 3 green, but that's not so hard for us. So we're going to do that. We're going to discard this card. We're going to spend 3 green with this one and a gem. That's 3 green in order to... That's too bad. We could have used that one. In order to unflip this, now that lets us put charges on our shotgun and lets us bring out more progress. Now so we don't need this for now, but I'd like to get it out of our hand and get it built for the future. 4 red, since we have all this red we don't really need. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be a little wasteful. Okay, we're going to keep this. And spend a gem. That's 4 red. And we're going to place this. We're getting ourselves built up. This is as good a time as any to build up for the next battle. That turn ends. If we didn't have hours on our clock, I'd be more nervous about it taking us a long time. What the F is this? Oh, you can't see that. You can't see that there is something on my screen here. It's a little quad window that's popped up over my screen. Sorry, excuse me. I just gotta get rid of that. Okay, you didn't see that pop up. Doesn't matter. So, we're taking a bit of time. Hopefully you're getting in a good nap there at home. Next turn, next 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here are some nice cards. Tactics is nice, affects all entities. That's a progress card. Wouldn't be crazy to try to get that out. But we've got the green we need now to do this efficiently. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's our 5 green. Okay, here we go. We're doing the 5 green to see who's looking out at us, and God help them if they try to fight us, because we've got a whole hand of red cards. Someone is leaning out of the hole. 613. In this part of the park lies a lot of rubbish, and cobwebs obstruct the path. So what are you staring at? The dirty head turns away, losing interest in us. Oh, nothing. Sorry, but what is this? I have no time for this. I'm working. He interrupts sharply. Take a look around instead. Just go left, right, left, or whatever, and you'll definitely find the path. Give me a break. We feel smaller and smaller with each gruff word from this grim man, like children who have been shouted at just because they're children. So reveal card C, or we may take advantage of our smaller stature and peek into one of the dens. So first we reveal card C. Here's card C. So it's modifying the spot we're on, is that right? What is it modifying? Not really showing us. I guess I just wind it up to the map. It looks like it's this here. I see. It's this here. But we can't get to that. Except that it gave us a choice here to discard a gem to go to 634. Jonathan says, okay. I was like, what's wrong? Okay. You're going to want to spend that gem to go into the dens. Okay, Jonathan says we spend the gem to go into the den. So here is a gem, and we're going to spend it to resolve 634. The tunnel twists and bends and seems without end. We suddenly realize it is no longer a common earth-filled den, and we're now surrounded by a paved, checkered black and white floor and blue walls. Keeps getting narrower, though. Cannot go further unless you may discard a gem to resolve 438. Okay, well, here goes another gem. We stocked up on gems, thank God. The underground corridor ends at a solid oaken door. We try to open it, heaving with all our might, stuck fast. Maybe if we weren't so small at this very moment, we think to ourselves, if you have the blue key, remove it from the game and resolve 951. If you don't have the blue key, you can't accomplish anything here. So the first time we played this dream, dozens of hours ago in the past, months ago, we got here, and I was not happy, as Jonathan says, about spending 2 gems, and we couldn't proceed. But that spending of those 2 gems that made us frustrated has now paid off, because it gave us a peek that we would need a blue key, and that's what's enabled us to get back here. So pretty exciting. We have the blue key. Now, I say exciting. The only thing that won't be exciting is if this made us lose this blue key and didn't get us anything. Okay, so the blue key gets discarded. And the gem is discarded. All right, here we go. Kind of exciting. So we're going to go through this solid oak door, and presumably we hope that we're going to get our 6th and final silver key here, which would be amazing. If not, we still have a spare gem and an ether that could get us one or a key, and we've got lots of red. So we are ready to burn this whole building down if it doesn't get us what we want. Okay, here we go. It works. The key fits. We open the wooden door and go inside. Where's my sound effects? It's really unfortunate that I so rarely do the sound effects that I can't find them when we need them. I have a whole thing for sound effects. Meanwhile, you're all reading the text. Don't read the text. Wait for the sound effect. Where did I put the sound effects? Remember when I used to do sound effects? Soundboard. Okay, what's happening here? We'll open the wooden door and go inside. Did that work? I can't hear it. I don't see it. Oh, yes, I do see it, actually. Okay. I'm sure that was annoying. We open the wooden door and go inside. We're in a small room with walls painted blue. Cobwebs run across the room like curtains. Nobody has been here for a long time. We stumble over empty cans and boxes littering the floor. There are several plush toys lying on a dirty bed. A teddy bear, a doll with a broken arm, a puppet with a long beard. But taking any of them is impossible because someone sewed them into the mattress. We look around for a moment, but there's actually nothing here. Disappointed, we leave, closing the door behind us. As we turn the blue key to close the door, we notice tiny blue flakes peeling off the key. After a while, we scrape it off and discover a shiny silver key underneath. Remove the blue key blank token from the game. We already did that. Find the 6th silver key, which is 118D, in the removed game element. So it told us to remove it, and now it's telling us to bring it back. I mean, did I put it someplace that we're going to be able to find it? All right, so this is wonderful. We've got our silver key. 118. I think I didn't remove it. I don't know why it tells us to remove it instead of just putting it back, which is what I think I did. I think I just filed it back. And there we have it. The 6th silver key. Kind of exciting. 80 hours, 24 sessions, we have finally found the 6th silver key. That's pretty amazing. So let us read what the story of the 6th and final silver key is. It's pretty amazing. 1137. Wow, look at this. Synthetic Archive GAP 3077/06, The Arrival. It was hard to remember anything. The black abyss devoured all our memories. Our mind strays in a dark fog. We didn't remember our names, where we came from, or who we were. We had some equipment with us, but it began to crumble, turn into scraps and useless items. Each of us remembered something different and fragmented, like pieces of a photograph that fit together all wrong. A laboratory and scientific devices, great fires in the sky, and that disturbing newspaper headline, "Is this the end of the world? How will it end?" Has there ever been anything besides this forest? Have we ever done anything other than to wander these woods? Where were we going? Why were we here? We still pushed forward despite being tired of this journey, constantly walking onwards, running away from everything in our search for something. Behind us, we felt a dark entity pursuing us, but we dare not stop. When we left, there were 4 of us. The 5th joined later, not really knowing where they came from. We all forgot what happened back then. Eventually, we left the mists behind and found that we were at the edge of a giant valley. There was a swamp at the bottom of it. We slowly descended the steep slopes, clinging to the trees like children hugging their mothers. Something felt immediately wrong. There was something down there, something that didn't trust us, despised us, and didn't want us here. We were intruders after all. The creature followed us, tracking us by scent and the echo of our footsteps. We felt its gaze on our backs. It was there, hiding in the shadows. We were sure of it. The sounds of this forest were unsettling. The trees were monstrous, their branches like claws that obscured the sky. The fog returned. After the next hour of walking, something else appeared, a strange, disturbing sound. Something was coming for us. We went further and managed to climb the mountain. There was a road there, like a tunnel in a dense forest. The fog was thinning. When we heard the sound of beating hooves, we quickly hid. Just in time, too, as strange creatures dashed past us along the road. They were mostly humanoid, but with horses' heads and hooves. They seemed formidable and aggressive. When the clatter died down, we pushed on. Little did we know it was to greater peril, as we found out later. One by one, we all became sick. One of us disappeared. I was sure we would find each other again eventually, but it was easy to get lost there. Our memories began to disappear once again. As soon as we got off the path, we were already somebody somewhere else. We tried to return, but there was no turning back. The path behind us was gone. There was something wrong with this world, and the predator was still getting closer. So a little bit of like apocalyptic dream world travel. Memory of when we entered this place, this dangerous place, being hunted by a predator. All right, our sixth key. So let's have a look here for a second. Do we not have a... Hold on a second. Oh, there it is. I was thinking we're missing a key. So we didn't find them in this order, but we have all 6 now. We have the 6 keys we need to get into Homecoming. However, the dream hasn't ended here yet. We did take the opportunity to get lots of good stuff out. We do have a couple more turns. How do we end this dream? If you achieve victory, there's no dogs. Find the way out or in. But this is not victory. We have not gained victory, right? Because we turned the key and we're not out of this dream yet. So we still have to get out of here. And if we can get out of here, we'll gain a nice card. Actually, G doesn't exist. I guess we've already gotten it. I guess that would get us an ether, though. But pretty amazing that we've got our 6th key. And we're going to have to discuss how we want to proceed now that we have 6 keys. But I guess we have to get out of here first. Technically. Seems a little bit pointless. Like, what are... I suppose we only have a certain amount of time. Do you remember how... I guess we're done here, right? So... Well, the only... I guess we can turn this one or this one. Same thing. But how are we going to get out of here? I don't... How do we get out of here? Yeah, but something seems a little bit wrong here. If the arrow isn't pointing at a tile, but I don't see how we can move from here. I mean, surely we must be able to, but I actually don't see how we can get off this tile. You can see why, right? There's a wall here. Oh, this is not how, the way it was. It was like this. Sorry, that makes more sense. Okay. Because the way it was, we wouldn't be able to get off it. But this we can get off. Okay, fine. So we can come back around here. We can do this, and we can get into here. Probably this is where we need to go, right? So we do have a lever here. We could turn this. That would let us go up into here. If it was like this, what is our plan? Our plan is to exit this way, I believe. I don't know how that got rotated that way. That was not the right way out of it. I mean, we probably want to be able to go that way. So I'm going to pull this to rotate this to prepare it to let us go up and in through this way. So we need 3. I'd like to be able to progress this instead. So Sea of Fire is 2, and there's 3 red to rotate this tile. My plan is to rotate it so that we'll be able to get onto this tile and go this way. Or I suppose it would be easier to rotate this one. And if we rotate this one, we don't need to rotate this one. Maybe this one doesn't really help us. How are we going to rotate this tile, though? Through here. That's what we do. We come in here, we rotate this, and then we'll be able to walk in there. I believe that's right. Yeah. Okay, so I've rotated this a little bit, and now we can get out of here. This seems like a little bit wasteful, but maybe we can just play this quickly since there are no enemies out and we have Run to Live. More time if we want it. So this is the next turn. We're gonna have to use some of our hours for turns, probably. We don't care about any of that. We just need to get down into here. It'd be nice to get one of our relocates, but that's all right. So I'll spend this to move 1, 2, 3. And then 2 and 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. Guess we'll end our turn. Did I spend the card that lets us get more turns? I did. I guess we don't need it. Okay, ending our turn here. Actually, let me take this back. 1, 2, 3. Keep this in hand since I don't need to spend it yet. And then I think that was that turn. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure you don't need to go into the garage. That's where you bought the car. You think that's the garage? And we don't need to go there? How do we get out of here then? Here? I mean, we need to get out somewhere. We could do this. We need to find a way in or out. Do you know how we get out of this stream? So there is a contact here. We could do this. We could go contact this. That's the garage where there's the car, huh? You don't think we need the car? You do go to the garage. Okay, so this is going to be our exit. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. So we don't really need these red cards. So I'm going to use them with Run to Live. To spend 2 to move 2 places. I kind of like to keep this to progress. And this to move 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you say we don't need to do this. Now, this actually created a path in here. So actually, we can go straight in there with 2. So I don't think we're going to need more time. So we're going to spend this to move 2. 1, 2. To climb through that pathway. And now we just need 5 green to go into the garage. We can spend this. I'd kind of like to get out progress, so I don't want to spend that. We're going to skip our turn here, bring this last turn out. These are free. There's no benefit to having leftover, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gain a gem. There's our ghost in the past, and there's this one that we don't need. We could use this to draw cards, but we don't really need it for that. So I'm going to say there's 3. I mean, having a gem is pretty nice. But we don't think we need the hours. So why don't we use that for our 5 and hold on to these for this. So there's our 5 green. We're going to need to spend another hour, huh? All right, that's okay. But maybe we don't need... Yeah, so then I'll hold on to the... It's okay to spend an hour. That's not a big deal. But do I want to throw the yellow and red to get 3 gems? Maybe that is better. So let's do that. We don't need these hours. We don't need these hours. That gets us 3 gems. It's better to have some gems in our bank. And I'm actually inclined to... Okay, we don't need this anymore. So there's our 5 green. We don't need the hours. We'll just spend our hours. We're at max hours. There's no benefit of being at max. Okay, we're going to look in the garage 701. The garage is incredibly vast. Instead of lamps, light streams in through rows of colorful skylights. Peering through one of them, we glimpse a fragment of the maze we have not yet seen. Reveal card D. And then a beautiful blue car stands on a large rotating pedestal. It's for sale. Well, we don't have the ether to buy that car. which type of dream this is written in the dream gate tile. So if this is the first time you're in a dream, you will be in the new version of this dream. So we're in the old version. So we're now in the old dream. It says, if this is the first time you're in the new version. So we're in the old time, but we don't have the ether. So we can't buy card H. Let's take a look at this. It's sad. Jonathan wanted us to have the ether when we come back here, but you can only use this in slumber. So, to get out, I really wanted to buy this. It would let us play in slumbers to get out of the slumber, but it's an item. Very hard to have an item ready to be used, but I guess you can just keep it around. That's not that useful. It helps you get out of slumbers, but it's hard to make it work. So it's no big deal. All right, but this card comes out, B2. It goes right there. And I guess it goes there. So it actually, that's weird. B2. It goes right there. So it's hard to see, but it does create a pathway this way. So we just have to get out now. This is pretty weird here. I guess this is like this. Okay, so we can get out. We just need yellow to get out. But as Jonathan said, we are going to need another turn. So I'm going to bring us down to 4 to bring a new turn card out. See if we can get out in one turn. Don't have to waste more hours. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not a huge amount of yellow, but we do have gems. At this point, I think it'd be worth it to use some gems to get out quickly. But how do we actually get out? We need to do this. Right? This is what new came out. Okay. So we need to get this tile rotated. Yikes. That's a little annoying. It's going to take us... Oh, no, maybe we come over here and rotate that. Yes, okay. So we want to move one space here. We can use any card for that. I think Assistant is the card to spend. Oh, we do need greens. It's reds we don't need. So this is one of my favorite cards, but we're just going to delay it a little bit. I haven't done it properly. I think there's the B2, so I think it's right there. Maybe you were saying that before. That's pretty... It's pretty clearly where it goes. Right there. This... Yeah, because this was originally like this. And so this would go right like this. Oh, you think that because we rotated it, this rotates too. I think you're right. I think you're right. I see. I was just putting it where it would originally have been, but clearly you're right. It has to rotate along with the tile. Thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. You were absolutely right. Okay. So here it is now, properly aligned with the card rotated underneath it. That makes a lot of sense. All right, so now but we don't need to just get out of here. I keep thinking we just get out here, but that's not right. We have to get to here, right? We're not just leaving. We're going to have to trigger this. So I guess we're going back around here. So it seems like, no, okay. So we'll just go back around to here, not the end of the world. So I guess we're here, and I haven't used a card yet. Okay, so but this card I put out, right? Yes, okay. It is weird, but it does create a path. Okay, so it is, this is weird, isn't it though? Did I do this card wrong? No? No, it's like it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We just need to move 3 spaces. So let's just use this getaway. 1, 2, 3. Now we need 5 green to do this card. I could go here and rotate this. I think it's cheaper to just spend the yellow to move. Okay. 5 green. We don't care about this. 2, 3, 4, 5. Surely this must be the way out of here. There's something interesting here. 343. I think we found the exit we're looking for. Reveal card E. You may place it so it connects any exit leading out of the park. Let's put this here. Okay, we can put this. Reveal card E. The tile which you add can no longer be rotated. There's a blue box with the word spawn dogs in each space. As the flying rule resolved immediately regardless of range, which we don't care about. So we're here. I suppose the quickest place is right here. If we hadn't tamed a dog, new dogs would come out. But we have tamed a dog, so no new dogs are coming out. And we just need 1, 2, 3 movement and to do a yellow, but we are going to have to take another turn, which is going to take us another hour, down to 3. Here's our next turn card. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, I suppose we didn't strictly need to take another turn if we wanted to use all our gems, but I'd rather not. Okay, so that's going to be our 5 green right here. And now we just need to move 3 spaces, which is 2 yellow, 1, 2, 3. We're not spawning dogs because we tamed a dog. We've moved, and then we've spent our 5 green. I think I'm tempted to just build this progress before we end our turn, but I suppose we can build it whenever we want. So let's just leave it. $5 green, which I've paid for. 543 is our script. Okay, check your dream gate to see whether you entered the gateway to the new dream or the old dream. We finished the new dream, so 507. Is that right? Or is it the old dream? It was reminding us a moment ago. And now I've forgotten. So it said, if it's the first time you're in the new version. Okay, so we're in the old version. Okay, we're in the old version. Yes, Jonathan says old dream, and it might have been better to just end the return to, in other words, you're saying this, the story could have made it so we don't have to walk to the exit. Okay, but you could see we did have to get it done in time. All right, so we're in the old dream. In other words, it's a return to dream. They should have just said if you're in return to. I don't know why they didn't. We feel much better, as always, after a day in the park. It's time for a well-deserved rest. Birds sing, the sun shines, a warm summer breeze caresses our skin, and our eyelids slowly droop. Each dreamer cures 3 or unseals 3. Okay, so curing 3 gets us at full health. That's all of our distress cured. Now we can remove a flaw. We don't have, I don't think we have any flaws. I think we paid to get rid of them all with ether. That's too bad. Wasted ether. Okay, if card F is restoring, is still in the secret, which it is, one dreamer gains it. Okay, so here's what we've got. We got this. Otherwise, we would get an ether. If there are no dogs, and G, tactics. I don't think we have that. All right, so let me just do this for one at a time. Let's take a look at this card. Seal this card in water to cure 1 plus green of distress. So that's pretty good. That would cure at least 2 distress for us normally. That's pretty great. I have to cleanse myself. That's a pretty good card. All right, so we gain it, but we don't get the, I guess I'm gaining it into my hand. All right, now, if there are no dogs and card G, tactics, is still in the secret, one dreamer gains it. So you're saying this is where we got tactics from, but we had already gained this the last time we played. So I think we should gain an ether instead. I'm going to give us that ether as our reward. Right? Because the game promised us that we were going to get a benefit from having no dogs. What does this say? If you achieve victory and there's no dogs, one dreamer gains G and the rest gain ether. Okay, so that's fine. So yeah, I just gave us an ether for it instead. Depending on which dreamscape tile you attach the exit to, you may relocate the team to the corresponding dream world tile. So we attach to B3, so we get to go into Pandemonium. I mean, no real point in this, but sure. Any Pandemonium location. All right, I'll just put that in the middle there. Otherwise, we stay at Metropolis. Okay, but we did exit B3, so we go to Pandemonium. Now, we get our shopping back. We lose the Secret Paths season. And instead, we go to the Ordinary Days season. Too bad. We discard the current Dreamscape, return all cards except for those already gained. Keep the Dreamgate tile. You can come back here if you wanted to. But we're surely never coming back here again. Oh, I guess if we wanted the blue car. This seems like a very short dream. I wouldn't call it very short, but it took us 2.5 hours to play, and then I guess we did some slumbers. It was, I guess it was short because Jonathan knew where to send us, and we were well prepared for it. So, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll discuss our 6 silver keys, and we'll discuss how we want to move forward after this. I'll see you in 8 minutes. Well, session 24 is in the books, and we have acquired 6 silver keys, enough to get into the final dream. Very exciting, fun story. We should make sure to thank Jonathan for taking us to the right dream and the right location. Otherwise, we would have been hunting through 5 different dreams trying to find that last silver key. So that's going to end it for today's session. But I think before we end the session, especially since this was a short on the shorter side, we should discuss. I don't have to make a final decision, but we should discuss what our plans are here. So we've healed up completely by the end of that dream. We have 2 ether. If we had 1 more ether, we'd be able to have the safety of knowing we could go into lucid mode, but we don't. We managed to get most of our progress cards back out. And the last one that we like to have is tactics, which we now have enough with a gem to bring out. In fact, I'd be inclined to just bring it out, but maybe we don't. Keep these in hand in case we want to go with Steam Bomb instead. But we're in great shape, and we have no cards sealed, which is amazing. So we basically have 2 options in front of us. We could head straight for Homecoming. We'd get on a train, which would take us to Horizon. You can't just walk into Horizon, but you get on a train to go to Horizon. And then we could go into the Homecoming dream. It needs the 6 silver keys. We have them. We go right in. Note you can cure 3 or unseal 3. At this point, we have nothing sealed and nothing needs curing. So, but maybe by the time we get out of the train, we would. So that's our one option. Now, we don't know if this is the last dream of the game. We don't know if going into this dream would get us a dream and then the game ends. But that's our guess, right? Our guess is going in here will end the game after 1 more dream. Could it be 2 dreams? We don't know. Could be. But that's to go to end the campaign. The other option, though, is there any reason we might want to go to one of these return dreams? So surely we don't want to go back to that one we were just in. Unless we wanted a car for some reason, that car is not that useful, and we've just been in here. So I don't see any reason to go back here. This city was kind of annoying. This is the important business. You got to lure them onto the spot. There was stuff to discover there. There's absolutely stuff we haven't seen there, so maybe I'll put that in the possible tile. The foggy docks, this was a dream that we didn't fully explore, so you could say there might be some more things there, but it's kind of annoying. This warden chases you around. It wasn't that, I don't think there's that much for us to discover there. This was a weird dream. So I would put that in the no pile. The dreams factory was annoying. We had to build these dreams, and I think we got the best out of this dream, so I don't think we would want to go back to that one. The endless basement is probably the dream that we did the least of. We were down there for like 5 seconds and we found a way out of there. And there were some interesting things that we didn't see. So that would be at the top of my pile if we wanted to go back. And then I think this is the train dream. I think this is the train dream, but we can check that out now before we continue on. So we have a card, a wisdom card that tells us about using the train. And where is that card? The railway card. All right, what dream does it tell us to take? 120. Spawn the conductor. Okay, so I guess it's not this dream. I guess it's when you go on the railroad, you don't actually use a dream tile. Okay, so I guess the railroad is different. So yes, okay, this is 114. Okay, so this was the train station that we went to. We found a penguin. We also found some degenerates that were kind of mean. And then we eventually got on a train that took us somewhere. It was a little annoying once those degenerates came out. Maybe there were a couple things there that we didn't quite see, but not much. And Jonathan thinks that the train, taking the train might be closer to a slumber. I think you might be right. So if you were to ask me, I guess I don't think I want to go back to this city anymore. It was kind of a little bit annoying. So if you ask me, there's only one more dream that I would be maybe inclined to entertain going back to. But I'd be okay if we never went back to it either. So the real question is, should we just say, look, we've had so much fun with this campaign, 80 hours, why go back to a dream? If we want to play more Etherfields, we have a couple more campaigns. So rather than be sort of completionists about it, there were some fun things in here that we didn't do, but I'm not sure it's worth it. So what are your thoughts? I mean, if you want, Jonathan, if you wanted to go back to one of these for fun, I'd be fine with this too. I'm just put my priority list here. I could easily be convinced to go back to the endless basement, but I could absolutely easily be convinced that we should go straight for the homecoming. Jonathan says, I'm leaning towards just heading to the end. Okay, so let's just say that that's going to be our plan. We can change our mind between now and our next session, but we are going to, I guess I need to put the dogs back. Barring a change of plans, we are heading for the homecoming. The 12-turn mission. It's very likely this will be the last dream we play. We could debate if we want to try to get to Horizon this session and do the mini dream of riding the train to Horizon. Well, if you feel like spending this session riding to Horizon, I'm totally up for it. I suppose it depends how long you think Homecoming's going to be. I guess Homecoming's going to be a longer dream, probably. So maybe since we had a shorter dream, maybe we should get ourselves to Horizon this session. All right, it looks like Jonathan and Val are up for doing the train ride. All right, we're not quite done yet. All right, so we're going to head to Horizon. Put our keys away. We're back on the dream world. We're allowed to hop out anywhere in Pandemonium. Anywhere on Pandemonium. Any Pandemonium location. Okay. And we're trying to get to Horizon, which we're going to need to take a train to. So that's the fastest route to a train station. There's no train station on Pandemonium. Where is the quickest train station for us? We can't get to this one that way. We're pretty far away from train stations. I suppose we could come up here past one slumber. We'd have to have one slumber and then get to a train station. Or we could go by shopping, which would get us a gem. But then we'd have to head through this and then to here. So we could go this way. We're going to have one slumber on the way. I don't think there's any way to avoid having a slumber. So slumber and then train. Oh, that's not a train station. That's a sanctuary. That's not what we want. Train station here, train station here, train station here. So maybe the closest way is sanctuary, fate, slumber, train. Or shopping, fate, slumber, fate. No, you can't go to sanctuary. Okay, I think that's our fastest route is up here. I think that's right. And we won't benefit from shopping. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go here. That's a sanctuary. We would love to get another ether on our way. Okay. So sanctuary gives us unflip of progress, unseal a chosen item, or restore an item. Okay. So we are going to get some restore one item. So we are going to get a random item. Okay. I mean, a train ticket would have been a nice thing. Then we could have skipped the whole train thing. Okay, flashlight's pretty good, actually, as far as items go. Not the best, but pretty good. Okay, then we're going up to fate. Let's see if we get our favorite card. Gain a flaw or gain a random item. I mean, I do not want a flaw. 1 out of 6 and we could re-roll. All right, so if we wanted to do this, we could absolutely do it. We would just spend a gem if we got an X, and we have enough gems that we could roll it. A random item. I think it's worth it. Maybe nothing will happen. All right, let's just go for it. Okay, so it's a dot, which means nothing happens unless we want to pay to re-roll it, which we don't. Okay, now we're going here. Draw 2 cards. That's nice. So there's our 2 cards, one of which lets us heal. We don't need it. And one of which lets us gain hours, which we actually might want. Okay, now we're going for another fate. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you this. Okay, so that was our 2 cards. Here's our next fate. Okay, darkness. We don't really want this one. Do you notice any symbols? No. Okay, let us see if we get a quirk space. So this one gets put back in, and this one comes out. It is a quirk space, so we have to take darkness. Okay. Next up, we go to Phantasmagoria, which we don't want to have enter a dream. We have a key if there was a Phantasmagoria dream, which there isn't even if we wanted to. So we have to have a slumber. So we don't care about so we could have a key. So we get a key instead. I'd rather have an ether than a key. We don't need any more keys, but we're taking the key and we're having a slumber. Now this is where things could get messy for us, but okay. So we did shuffle delta phase. We could get a delta phase in here. Puppets and mannequins that are deliveranceable. So I'm sure we faced these guys before. 4 puppets come out. They morph. They run away. Is that right? They keep running away. But as soon as they move to there, they have a seal a card. You just got to survive to the end. We have fought them before, so the only question is, do we want to deliverance them? I feel like we might have tried to deliverance, and then it's that we decided like you can't do anything with them. Does that sound right? So let's take a look here. 600. So we're gonna try to understand the puppets. The puppets' movement draws our attention. We want to play with them regardless of their terrifying appearance. Whenever they're around, we're completely enraptured by their dances, losing track of time, distracted from whatever plans we had. Leave it, break it, and come to us. Come on. They're like old toys we love too much to throw away until eventually there are too many. Their influence makes us forget what we are and what is important. We have to be careful not to get caught up in their endless dances. Okay, so I mean, I love deliverancing them, but I don't like the wasted attempts to deliverance them when nothing happens. So, assuming we've fought these guys before, we can bypass them and just take 1 wound, which we can easily handle. Otherwise, it's just a little, and there's no reason we want to go into this slumber. But we could try to get an ether, but you don't really have that much control over it because you can't end the dream when you want. It just ends automatically when you run out of 4 turns. So there's no way to try to control the ether. And we don't want to spend any ether to deliverance us. Okay, I guess we're just going to bypass these guys is, I guess, our plan. So what have I done with the bypass? Where did I put that card? I guess I don't need to find it. We know how it works. We take a distress. We gain a bonus, though. We gain a bonus of our choice, right? Maybe I do need to find that card now. I put it somewhere. I thought I was being clever. I put it someplace different. The continuous dream mode. But now I have lost where I put it. Not there. I thought I was being so clever putting it someplace. Do we have the card that lets us rearrange our deck? No, we don't. No, we don't. Well, I seem to have misplaced the card that lets us do continuous dream mode, which means I forgot what options we have available to us when we trigger it. I mean, I know one thing lets us get a key, but we really don't want a key. What were our other options for reward? Do you remember? I mean, it's got to be here somewhere, but where? It's a big tile-shaped thing. Did I put it in the garbage? No. Where did I put it? We might have been able to rig for an ether key. The only thing we really care about is if it can cure a distress or get us an ether, because the key we do not need. Where would I have put it? How stupid is that? Why would I do that to us? Why would I do that to us? You can get a key or the next mystery event or unseal a card. Okay, so none of those are interesting to us. I guess we can change a key into something, right? So we don't have any cards to seal. So I'm just going to take a third key. We can change those keys to gems, so they're not totally worthless to us. All right, and the puppets get discarded. That's fine. Thank you. All right, that's that. Now we're going to the train. And for the first time ever, we are going to ride on the train. It's shocking because the game is like, you're going to be doing this a lot, but really we didn't. Okay, so 120 secret cards. So we've never been to this. Is it a slumber? Is it going to be a dream? We don't know. Reveal both setups. Okay, 2 setups. Are there cards for this? There's no cards for this. It's just tiles. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, wow, we're in a train car, it looks like. B2 and B3. Okay, let me see if I can get you a good look at these cards here. So we're sitting in a train car. There's ticket control, this big monster. This seat is taken, says some monster here. We can restore an item, unflip a card. There's a restroom. They're playing chess. He's saying, checkmate. Ha ha ha. Don't have a ticket? Do you? Finally, work's over. So we're on a train car with a bunch of ghostly, ghastly spirits. So it looks like you can just hang out here and restore items and unflip cards. This space is dark. These spaces are dark. Ticket control. Do you see any symbols? That would be the best thing for us. So it looks like it's going to be a tiny little slumber here. All right, rest of these rules. Reveal tile X with the lowest number, which is X1, and that is the entity who is the controller. So let's see. If you have a train ticket, you can just return it and end the train. If you survive this trip, relocate the train to any other train station. Okay, so here is our conductor. This scary monster. 8 turns, wow. Spawn a warden and he gets a random morphing. Oh my god, look at this. If you get thrown out of the train, B2 and B3, yeah. If you get thrown out of the train, you go to prison. We don't want that. So it's 8 turns, but you can get rid of the current turn if it's a bad turn. For 5 green, or you can push the conductor away. So basically we just have to survive. There's nothing to do other than survive for 8 turns. Boy, that's really pretty annoying. I'm glad we're only doing this once. Let's read the deliverance hint, says Jonathan. Okay, so we can assault him to push him away. We can contact him to move the turn away. Okay, I see. So if you did that a whole bunch of times, you could reduce this from an 8-turn dream to a 4-turn dream or something. Okay, so he can get morphings. The yellow would have a seal 2 cards or get thrown out of the train. Red, suffer a damage and seal 4 cards or get thrown out of the train. Yikes, that is punishing. Plus he's morphing. This is like excruciating. Okay, let's get our 8 turns. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so before we do anything, let's see if we can't spot a symbol or two. Could be a symbol on the conductor as well. I mean, that looks a little purplish, but not for this. Looks a little ghostly, but not quite. Is this this? Yes, it is. It absolutely is. The window, yes. Val, you're right. I think that's right. Okay, so we found a window on the train near the restroom. It's a generic token 1160. Okay, good work. 1160. Hopefully I'll guess a gem or something. Whoa, look at this. The train bumps steadily along. Half the passengers are asleep, the other half mulling and murmuring about their unfulfilled lives. We try to make conversation with a stranger who stares at the scrolling bleak landscape out of the train window. It looks like he might as well be staring at an empty wall by the way his eyes are eerily not moving. I've been here for so long I can't remember. What is this world? It's not real. It's a dream, a waking nightmare. It punishes me again and again for my past sins. But what should I do? Will it ever end? Please, will you take this baggage from me? We look at a heavy suitcase at his feet. It's swollen and slimy. We can take it away. Whatever's inside, it could be good or not. We can resolve the out of turns, unseal all cards and gain a flaw. Wow, if we had a lot of sealed cards, how amazing would that be? But we don't have any sealed cards. At least not yet. But we would gain a flaw. That's the worst thing, a flaw. We do have the ether to pay to get rid of it, but that would eat up an ether. So this is very dangerous. However, you could argue that we could seal a bunch of cards during this dream and then come here and choose this. So this is like an emergency exit that would unseal all cards. All right, so this stays back with us in case we want to use it again. And I don't see anything else for us here. Okay. I would have rather had a gem, I think. Okay, so if you survive the trip, you relocate. Out of turns, we relocate. So, yeah. All we have to do is survive and relocate. But if bad things happen to us, we may have to abort. So I guess what we could do is every time we get punished, we could seal a card and then just plan to go there and take a flaw. But I'd much rather get an ether. All right, so let's get ourselves set up here. We are coming out somewhere here. And this should be the warden, but it's crazy that we're going to finish this game having not seen most of these creatures. So here is the warden. That's the conductor. He's right there looking at us. Okay, we're going to look at the deliverance now. We can use a train ticket from storage. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's look at his deliverance. I'm not sure what you mean. I mean, there are train tickets in storage, but we don't have any way to get them unless we have a card that lets us pick an item of our choice. So this conductor, if we try to understand him, let's see what we got. The conductor must be one of the most powerful guardians of the dream world. He watches over the train, forcing others to follow the rules and increasing the fare the farther you want to go. Acquiring valuable things requires extra effort. There is always a price and no easy way to get them. But were we happy with that? Don't try to change it, or it will only make your life worse. The conductor utters these words quietly, almost as if to himself. Okay, so I know what this means. So the instructions for this dream were to take the lowest X card. So there's an X1 and an X2. So I think what it's trying to say is if you deliverance out this one is worse. So I don't think we're going to be deliverancing this conductor. Okay, now Val clarified what they were saying about this. The bottom of the railway card. Okay, so you were right. If we restored a railway car, a ticket, I don't think we could use it yet. Like, even if we got it, first of all, you don't have control. You don't get to choose what items. So it's a whole collection of items. There's a couple tickets in here. But let me just see here. If we drew a ticket in the middle of this ride, I don't think you still couldn't do it once you're on the train. Although it seems logical, doesn't it, that we should be able to show him the ticket? I guess I would house rule it and say we could show him the ticket. So if we did get a ticket, I would house rule it that we could show it to him. And there's no scripts on this train. So there's nothing to do but just run around the train to avoid this guy. Did we also have the... Did we get a fate? I mean, did we get a fate that I've misplaced? Am I misremembering that? No, I think we did. Oh, but we're not in the slumber. You think it was on the setup card? If you have any train ticket, active, oh, or in storage. Or in storage. Oh, how cool is that? So actually, that's why those train tickets were so annoying to be carrying around, but actually they're just in storage. So yeah, we have a bunch of these in storage that were just meant for this. Okay, that's a great discovery. So basically we just pop out one of these in our pocket and we don't even have to do this dream. And frankly, we don't want to do this dream. There's no good stuff for us here. All right, good catch. Very good catch. So we're just spending one of our tickets from storage to return it to the market. And we're out of the dream. All right, so we did get a chance to look at it. It's cool looking. We found a symbol. So you could say if you had a lot of cards that were sealed, you could purposely take a train just to unseal them for a flaw. That's pretty cool. And it is creepy, but there's no reason for us to do this. So we're just going to put this away. No, thanks. We showed him the ticket. We showed him the ticket is what happened. We showed him a ticket that we've been carrying around for a long time, and we're done. And we come out on the train station here. Unseal 2 cards, restore an item, and then into our dream, or unseal a chosen card, gain 2 hours, and go here. So for our final dream, would you rather restore an item or gain 2 hours? I think gaining 2 hours is more important to us. We do have ways to gain hours, so it's not the end of the world, but I think if we're going for our final dream, hours is what we need. So we're going to go here. We don't have a card to unseal. So I guess you could say that maybe we should spend a card. Do we have a card to spend that would seal? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we actually kind of do. We have 2 cards we could stick up for progress. Tactics or Steam Bomb. Then we could use Ghost from the Past to bring us out. I mean, it seems a little bit crazy to go to all this effort. It's not exactly the cards we want. We wouldn't draw new cards because we're not on a turn, but we could use this. Seal this card to draw cards to your hand size. Anything else sealing cards? Seal this card to cure. We're not going to need to cure it because Homecoming cures 3 or unseals 3, so like it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But we might as well do these now. So I don't think we care about sealing, but I'm inclined to get this stuff out. What would we rather have, the steam bomb or tactics? What would you rather get put out now? Tactics, which gives us range. It also helps range. Affects each enemy. I think this is the one that actually combos best with us. So I'm going to bring this out for 3. I'm going to spend this for 2. I have to spend a gem then, unfortunately, to overpay for this. Then we can't use this card to draw up, which would kind of be fun. Maybe. We're going to want to cure this. I'm going to spend this card to add an hour. That brings us to 4. Although, do we not think we can go above that? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this and spend gem. No, I'm going to hold on to this. I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can actually take 2 more. Sorry, I'm just trying to get us the best setup. 5 hours is the most. Okay, that makes sense. Yes. So what we're going to do instead is we are going to take a wound to seal and seal this card, and take a wound to draw up to our hand size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That gets us 3 cards. 1, 2, 3. And then we are going to we have a full hand now, no reason to put that out before we need it. Okay, so then we're going to go here, we're going to unseal this card, which goes back into our deck. We're going to go here, we're going to gain 2 hours. Now we're at max 5 hours. And then we're going to walk here where we're ready to go into Horizon with a full hand and probably planning to put out tactics when we start the next round, It would actually make more sense to put it out now if we knew we were going to do it. We're going to be able to cure 3 or unseal 3. So we'll be able to cure these totally when we start this dream. Also seal this to gain 3. I think maybe this is the way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do this just to prepare us fully. So I'm going to seal this card to generate 3 and spend this one for 4. Oh, actually, we don't need to spend this one for 4. So I'm going to seal this. We're going to lose this, but it will pay the 3 for tactics. So I'm going to pull out tactics. The only downside is this. If we think we might want to do steam bomb. Okay, let's not do it. Let's just give us the freedom of being able to put whatever progress we want next. All right, so we're going to stop there. That's a reasonable place to stop. We're ready to go for homecoming next dream. That was pretty fun. I'm glad we decided to do that so that we're ready to start our next dream. We've got keys for gems. That was some real team effort there. Any discussion before we wrap this up here? Anything more from the chat? I mean, you can see the reason why it might be you might want to get out this last tactic before we start the next dream is we would be able to draw up to our full hand of 9 starting the new dream. But really, it's just a difference of 2 cards. And maybe if we see the new dream, we would know it's better to have a steam bomb than tactics. So maybe we wait. The only thing that could be a shame is that we might not have enough ether to go into lucid mode in this final dream, and we might wish we could. But we do have a pretty big deck, and we're going to be at full health. We're probably walking into this final dream about as healthy as we could be. Railway wisdom goes back. Okay, if there's nothing else, pretty exciting. If we play as normal, our next game will be this coming Monday. I'll see you then.